In generics, this video is about comparable interface. Here in through this example, we will see how do we use the sorting method, that is the short method for array list. So usually if you have followed the last videos, then you may remember that we generally use the collection short method to sort a simple array list. However, if the array list is a custom object type, then in such case you have two options for sorting. Either you can use comparable, that I'm going to explain this through this video, or you may use another one interface called as comparator. So before going through the example, so we will see first the output when we try to sort the array list of objects without implementing any of these interfaces, without comparable or comparator. So to understand this, we need one example here. I have two classes, one student 4 class having three member variables, student name, roll number, and student age. Then I have one parameterized constructor to initialize the three member variables, and getter and setter methods for all those member variables inside the student 4 class. Now let's see how to call all those methods in the student 4 class in our main driver class array sorting 5. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create one array list to store the information of the students individually. So array list object is created, and after creating the object, we do need to add each student's information, roll number, name, and the student age. Okay, so each of them in individual locations inside the array list. So when these add methods are being invoked, then that will call the parameterized constructor here by initializing the roll number, student name, and student age member variable values. Now next thing is that we want to sort the data of the array list in the ascending order of their respective ages. So to do the sorting, if in the usual case, if we are not doing the sorting by accessing the object of a class, in that situation we usually just invoke the sort method. But what happens usually here, I'm using the same thing, collection short method, and I want to do the sorting of the array list object of these three persons that I have added to my list. So what happens here, actually it gives us one error. That is why it's showing this error condition. What it does, actually, we are calling the sort method on an array list of objects, okay, and which actually doesn't work unless we use interface like comparable, that I'm going to explain you here in this video. So to do that, what happens? So this sorting method, sort method, it needs to implement one interface, that is the comparable interface of the student 4 class type. Okay. So now if we are implementing the comparable interface, then I need to override the compare to method of that comparable interface. Okay, well, so let me just show you the definition of this part, compare to method. Okay, well, so now let's see. So when we implement the sort method, it goes directly to the overridden compare to method. So what I'm trying to do, I'm passing the array list object of the student for class type, and here is the formal object argument for that of the student for class. So now using the compares to object formal argument, I'm going to make a comparison, storing the integer value in the compare age by comparing all the student ages one by one. 26 with 24, then 24 with 32, 32 with 26. So all that comparison individually will be stored in the integer argument compare age. Then it will return the actual ascending ordering of all the list elements in the array list through the compare to method. Now, next thing is that we want to print that. So through a for loop, make an iteration through the array list elements and just print the list elements. So that will invoke the toString method, okay, and which will be overridden of the object class, and it will return it in this format. So let me run the program and let's see what happens here. So when we run it, we add the elements in this order 26, 24, 20, 32 age values. So now they will be ordered in the ascending order, first 24, 26, then 32. This is what comparable interface is about.